Yes, welcome back to the Morning Shift, your source for your hip-hop R&B in the morning here on CHUO 89.1, your official urban station for the Ottawa-Gatineau area. I'm your host, once again, the big mouth on the mic, Daddy Rich, but I'm not alone today. I got Keith Whittier in the house from Ottawa Life Magazine, film critic, movie reviewer. He does everything, games, everything. He's in the house with us on a Friday, and it is the beginning of the month, so we know we have to bring him back to tell us what's hot in the theater or at home with this pandemic. So how you doing, Keith?
I'm doing fantastic.
You love all the extra stuff I put onto it. You just love that extra stuff, I guess.
Let me tell you something. You're just layering it on. I love it. I mean, it's accurate, right? I mean, I don't know about doing everything, but I mean, I cover movies. I cover games.
You cover games. You do like you talk about even UFC. You talk about I think you even touched on The Bachelor one time.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm worldly.
You are very worldly. Well, welcome back to the Morning Shift. Thanks for coming in and sitting down with us today. What great movies do you have for people to watch for this weekend when they're home?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for that. First of all, I want to talk to you about a movie called Held. H-E-L-D. This is a movie that dropped recently. You can catch it on, I saw it on iTunes. Of course, that would mean it's on the Google Play Store. This is an interesting thriller. This is about a couple that are basically estranged or having their challenges, and they decided they were going to go to a remote a remote house in the middle of nowhere, which is exactly what remote means, to work on their relationship. It's a home invasion type of film, and not home invasion where people with masks storm the house and hold them hostage. But in this technological world, they're holding them hostage with the fact that this is a smart house. So it's got controlled doors, controlled locks, controlled lights. So somebody or somebody's behind the scenes is able to hold them against their will in this house and get to terrorize them.
Wait. You're saying that they're locked into their house by the same stuff that we use at our own homes, like our cell phones and all that stuff that locked all the doors. You can leave your house and say, lock my door, and your door will lock like that?
Exactly.
That is scary. That is scary.
It is scary. It's scary, and that's why this movie works, because instead of us seeing the same type of home invasion movie that we've seen time and time again, we're seeing something completely different. You're looking at somebody who loves technology, who loves gadgets, and I still had an appreciation for this film. I didn't leave watching this film feeling scared. I loved it because it was something original. So I think this is a fun movie. I'm not coming off and say it's the greatest thing ever. No, but it's a fun movie for people to check out. It's called Held, and I recommend it.
All right, I'm gonna definitely check that out. I'm gonna try to talk the wife into watching it with me. So that's definitely what we're gonna do this weekend. But what's next on your list?
Yeah, absolutely. Another movie that I want to recommend is a film called We Broke Up. Now, this is, it's one of these movies that goes through the line of drama and comedy. They call it dramedy, sure. It's about this couple that seems at the beginning of the movie pretty fun-loving. They seem to be getting along. They've been together for a while. He spontaneously proposes. She spontaneously throws up. And then when she kind of, composes herself, she says no. So while they break up, they got a problem. Her sister's getting married in a couple of days, and they're both part of the wedding. So they go to the wedding pretending that they're still together, even though we, as the audience, know that they're not. It's a very interesting look at relationships. There's a lot that you can talk about it in terms of, the whole marriage thing and relationships. Are you getting married for yourselves? Are you getting married for other people? I liked it. It was a very interesting film. It could make some couples watching this movie a little uncomfortable. I'm not going to lie. Some awkward conversations could come after that. That's not my responsibility. My responsibility is to tell you that We Broke Up is an entertaining film. And before you say to me, well, Keith, who's in it? Let me tell you something.
That's what I was going to ask.
It's one of those movies where you see the people and you're like, oh, I remember you in that movie and you were in that movie. Yeah. There's really no major stars in it. So, but it works.
All right. I can't wait to check that out. Now, it was May the 4th over the past couple of days. It was on Tuesday. Marvel's been releasing some information out. They just released a list of all the movies for their Phase 4. They did kind of like a little highlight trailer of the stuff they did in the past, and they had Stan Lee actually narrate the beginning of it, and it was so touching about how he's talking about everyone's we're all one family. That lady over there is your sister, that guy over there is your brother. And my favorite part is when they had the audience cheering at the end of Endgame. No spoilers out there, but it was really cool. So do you get a chance to check that out? And what do you think of some of the list of movies that are coming out for Marvel?
Yeah, absolutely. I absolutely did have a chance to check that out. And let me tell you something. I know we're living in this world where everybody's excited about Queen's Gambit. Let me tell you who you don't play chess with. You don't play chess with the geniuses over at Marvel, because you're thinking one step ahead, or other studios are thinking one step ahead. They're thinking like 10 steps ahead. They're everything they lay down, it's just so brilliantly and meticulously planned out. So we had an opportunity to see a lot of the new films that are coming out, new Guardians of the Galaxy, new Ant-Man, new Black Panther. They've got things that are planned out for the next several years, and I love it. The great thing about Stan Lee's the Stan Lee Marvel ad that was put out is it's a reminder of how wonderful it is to see films the way they were intended in the cinema. With all due respect to anybody's home setup, and we have nice home setups, and that's great, it will not replicate being able to see it in the theater on the big screen with an audience. The ending of Endgame, the crowd reaction is something that that's something that I hold precious and dear. It's not something that you can replicate in your home environment, regardless of what that might look like. I remember being fortunate enough to go and see a press screening of Endgame in Toronto. It was me, like in a theater full of journalists and people just losing their minds, and then just having that experience. Like, I can remember, going back to a kid, some of those great moments that you saw cinematically. So kudos to Marvel for that ad that I think is fantastic. And hopefully with things going on the way they are, we might not be too far away from having that type of an experience again. So I think it was probably one of the best ads. It was also very self-serving on their part, because it's also reminding us they got a lot of stuff coming out, and with Disney Plus in their back pocket, I'm telling you, just give them the win right now.
I'm just waiting for Shang-Chi to come out. I'm so excited. Good Canadian boy who's playing the superhero. So I'm so awesome. Like, that's like awesome. So I'm so happy for that movie. I'm going to be definitely in line waiting to see that movie in theaters. I know Black Widow is kind of doing the theater kind of non-theater kind of thing. So I know that's going to be kind of interesting. I know theaters are still locked down here in Ottawa right now, in the nation's capital. But hopefully, cross your fingers, by summertime, we can go back to the theaters and eat some popcorn and some drinks. Now, since you said Black Panther, they are doing in their Black Panther. It's coming out 2022. The big thing is that the lead actor who played Black Panther passed away. And they are stating that they're not going to be recasting for Black Panther. Now, there's a new petition going out right now across the board right now for people to sign for them to recast Black Panther. Now, my question is, do you think they should recast him or they shouldn't? Now, I'll throw this out before you say something. Notice that they do recast Batman a lot of times. They recast Superman so many times, and characters go on and go on and go on. They keep on going on. So that's my question now for you. Go right ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. So thank you for that. What I'll say is, you look at, you're 100% right that they recast the Batmans, the Spider-Mans, the Jokers. Heath Ledger passed away. They did an origin story of that. But I also think to myself, well, you look at Ocean's 11, and that was like that fun film with George Clooney, Brad Pitt, what have you. Bernie Mac passed away, and after Bernie Mac passed away, they said, well, we're never doing another Ocean's movie because, it's not going to be the same. This isn't really the same because they're looking at going ahead with it. I personally don't have an issue with it, for the simple fact that while a lot of people associate Chadwick Boseman with Black Panther, to me, he was so much more. He played, Jackie Robinson, Thurgood Marshall. You could go into a whole Black History Month of films that are just, James Brown, that are just based on roles that he did. So I don't necessarily have an issue with them recasting and moving on. And let's also keep a couple of things in mind. Taking out the Avenger films, the most successfully financial film from the Marvel movies was Black Panther. So that's something to keep in mind. And the money part aside, I think it's wonderful for people that look like you and look like me, who have the opportunity to go to the theater and see a superhero. I'm sure Marvel is going to do a great job in terms of honoring his legacy. And to me, it isn't a matter of a replacement, but as much of a passing the baton and moving that on. The same way that we saw with Captain America and that baton being passed on in the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I think they did a fantastic job The way they did that story, it wasn't just a matter of, okay, I'm picking up the shield and I'm Captain America now. There was a development over the season to that point. So I have nothing but respect for what Marvel's done in the past, and I'm sure if they want to continue on with this series, again, I think it's very important. The bigger story for me isn't the fact of, it's not, to me, I don't look at it as a disrespect to Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah,
I look at it as continuing on the baton. So like the next generation is able to come along and say, hey, there's somebody that looks like me on the screen in a superhero role, and I think that's what's most important.
Well, I completely understand, agree with you with that. Like, I really thought that for Black Panther, this should keep the character of T'Challa, because there's no other person like that in history in the movies like right now. Like, they should really keep T'Challa passing on the baton and carrying on and making sure that there's another black lead male in this role of a Black Panther, of T'Challa, I should say. And there's so much stories that they could have done. There's stories that they could do, bringing in Storm to get married to him in the comics. You know, there's so much they can do with it, and I completely agree. I know Marvel will do right. Especially what they did with the Falcon and Winter Soldier. I was amazed, but it was I was tearing up. I was literally tearing up when he was sitting there talking. Now, spoilers in Falcon and Winter Soldier, when he was talking to the first black super soldier, and he was telling about his life, and he did the same thing that Captain America did, and I was just, and he didn't get the award and cheer for saving his men. He got locked up and tested on, and just a great story what Marvel did.
I want to throw this out to you too.
Yeah.
Who's to say the next Black Panther isn't a woman? Right? Last time I checked, there are a lot of cool black women in Wakanda. So you know, I mean, that could be a thing as well. I think there's a lot of different avenues that they could take from a story perspective. And again, there might be studios, DC, that I think I'm not sure what they're going to do next, and I might worry a little bit. I don't worry with Marvel. Even if you use an example of the show that they had on previously, WandaVision, you know, at first it was kind of like, what are we getting into? Yeah. I was like, Marvel, why did I even doubt you? You know, you delivered again. So yeah, I'm excited to see what happens.
It's going to be interesting to see what happens. It's 2022. For me, I would have loved them to cast another T'Challa to take on the role, because they cast Bruce Wayne so many times. There's so many Bruce Waynes out there. You know, like even Superman, there's so many Clark Kents out there now. Actually, the big rumor, I don't know if you heard, is that DC is looking for a black superhero for Superman. Black Superman. That's what I just heard. So I don't know. It was interesting to see. And who was up for the role? It was what's his name? He played Killmonger in Marvel. Michael B. Jordan. Yeah. Oh, speaking of that, let's throw another review out. Did you get a chance to check out the Michael B. Jordan movie on
Without Remorse? Amazon. Thank God I did. This would be an awkward conversation if I hadn't. Yes, I did. It's based on one of the Tom Clancy novels. It's an entertaining film. Listen, here's the deal. I like Michael B. Jordan. Yeah. I have video documentation of me making him blush at the Toronto International Film Festival.
Oh, that's awesome. We got to share that sooner.
We got to get that out. But what I will say is it's an entertaining movie. It's one of these films where he was part of like this secret unit, the secret government unit, like special forces. At the end of the mission, they came trying to take out people who were part of the mission. They killed his wife. Now he's out for revenge. There's a lot of things in the movie that are a little fugazi, I'll say, a little like hard to like, this just doesn't seem like it adds up, which is kind of funny after we come off talking about superhero movies. But anyways, it's an entertaining film. I mean, it's one of those films that I saw and I didn't regret seeing it. Yeah. Will I be talking about it and thinking about it in like 6 months, 3 months, a month? Probably not. Yeah. But it's one of those films that just reminds us that Michael B. Jordan can do action movies. Yeah. There you go. Yeah, and it's produced by him too. So it was. I saw it with the wife, and it was entertaining. It was entertaining. Yeah. I give you that. It was you get your. If it was in the theater, probably be more entertaining, but it was entertaining. Sorry, go ahead. I was going to say, and by the way, speaking of your lovely wife, I hope she's doing amazing, that beautiful soul, who I hope one day lets you get your PlayStation 5. Sorry, you were about to say?
I just recently was on your social media, and I saw that you got a barbecue set. You got a charcoal barbecue set now. I saw absolutely. How is that going? I saw you putting it together. How was that?
Yeah, so usually I'm a propane guy, and I still have a propane barbecue, but in these COVID times, I wanted to dabble into some charcoal. Have it put together. Was going to barbecue, but of course it's been raining the last few days, so I'm hoping this weekend I'll be able to fire it up.
Yeah.
And next time we'll have an update. And more importantly, let's hope in the next while I can actually have you over.
That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. You can invite us over for that. That'd be so cool. What else is coming up for you? Any big events that the people should know about?
No huge events coming up. Again, they keep releasing the movies. I'll keep watching them and keep coming to you and talking about them. The next major film festival is going to be this summer, the Cannes Film Festival, or sorry, the Cannes Film Festival, which I'm hoping to be accredited for. And so fingers crossed, and we'll keep you posted on all those good things.
All right. Well, we will bring you back again. Where could they find you to get more information about more stuff you're doing?
Absolutely. CFL_fan on Twitter as well as on Instagram. And of course, Ottawa Life Magazine should be your number one source for checking out different movie reviews and all great things of this wonderful city.
Awesome. Well, thanks. So what song do you want to hear on the morning shift for this Friday morning?
You know what? Let's go with A Few Good Men and the song Tonight.
All right, let's get to that here on the morning shift. Keith, once again, thanks very much for hanging out with us. Have a great rest of your morning, and let's get into that. A Few Good Men for tonight. Let's go.